what it's all about right there. Ever since I was about 7 years old, saw Star Wars. I was obsessed with it. So my mom got me this book by Ralph McQuarrie, and it was like all about his conceptual art for Star Wars, and I think that book was like my first foray into like real abstract thinking of art, and from there it just blossomed. I didn't start painting anything really until high school. I'd fool around with, like little paint kits or something that people would give me for, the holidays and things like that. But for the most part, I was strictly drawing, using colored pencils, stuff like that, up until I got into high school. And I had a teacher, Scott Reeves, who really pushed me. Started getting me thinking, in other mediums, thinking about things in different ways. When I left high school, I actually dropped out of high school and started college. And I started on kind of a fashion design track, then shifted over to studio painting and drawing. And that's where my real love is. I was lucky enough to become the apprentice of Roland Hockett. So I kind of followed him around for like 3 years, being his assistant. It was an amazing experience. He was selling huge pieces to like the State Department and stuff, My first brush with the art world was that of success, so when I kind of went out on my own after a couple years of college, it was kind of a rude awakening, So I had to kind of get back to brass tacks and ended up going and doing a lot more design work. My family was in the billboard business, so I learned how to design billboards, and I painted billboards in the shop from the time I was about 14, What I'm doing these days is a lot more like sign painting, but I think it fits a lot better with the advocacy side of me and the activist side of me. It's on the art community and the artists to, kind of raise issues and speak their voice and to fight the power, as they say, I think definitely what I'm doing right now is 100% about communication. And I'm a social justice kind of painter. I'm not being subtle, as they say, I'm throwing hammers. I want it to be daunting, but the message, hopefully punches you in the stomach. I do series for the most part, so whenever I kind of tackle a particular style and medium, I usually do it for at least a year, and try to put out enough work, to do, few shows in that style.
Immigrants, we get the job done.
It's a hard line, you're an import, baby boy, it's hard time.
I try not to be a perfectionist. I try to feel the soul of the piece, and be like when I feel like it's there, especially with looser painting styles, figurative stuff, portraits. That's part of what I call artistic maturity, is knowing when to stop. Art creates community, first off. So the more art that you put in areas like downtown, the more art that you put in the neighborhoods like San Marco, Riverside, and Springfield, the more community there's going to be around that art. And that will create an interaction between the community and the artists here. So that's step one. Step two is to create some landmark size projects. Something that is going to be an international draw, something that people can hang their hat on and say, when they see it in a photo and say, that's Jacksonville. But it also has to have some kind of meaning, that comes back to Jacksonville.
That's how it's done.